Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to this auspicious 70th Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So I welcome each one of you on behalf of the Columbus disciples of Maharaj. I also want to take this opportunity to welcome our GBC for North America for ISKCON Columbus, Mother Malati, as well as Mother Kamegari and Yadavacharya Prabhu and Jai Shri Mataji. So I want to welcome all the senior disciples of Prabhupada. I also want to welcome representatives from New Vrindavan. 8 of them are Maharaj disciples, as well as 2 aspiring devotees, as well as all my community members from ISKCON Columbus. Thank you for being here today on this very auspicious, wonderful occasion. This is the first time we are doing in a virtual environment, so you have to bear with us. I don't know how this experience is going to be, but we'll try our best to make sure that it goes smoothly and flawlessly. I'm assisted here by Chadbu Chaitanya Prabhu, Ramesh Prabhu, Alec Prabhu. I thank them for all their help and support. So we will start the offerings, but before we start, as it was mentioned in the email, there are some guidelines for this offering, because we have a number of us today who wants to offer to Maharaj, and want to make sure every one of you get equal opportunity to express yourself. So keeping that in mind, and keeping that today is a weekday and we all have to go to work tomorrow, we make a few requests to all of you. So senior Prabhupada disciples will get 5 minutes each, followed by devotees. They will get about 3 minutes each. So we apologize for any inconvenience for not being able to give you more time. It is just that we want to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to express their offering. I hope you all understand. Any shortcomings during this process, please forgive us. We will humbly request you to stick to these guidelines. With that being said, we are also going to be experimenting for the first time with a timer, where the timer will flash on the screen when it is halftime. And when you have about a minute left, it'll again remind you, so that you can accordingly prepare yourself to complete your offering. I hope this is okay. With that being said, without any further delay, I would like to invite Malati Devi Dasi, our GBC representative for North America, to speak first.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, and Hare Krishna all Prabhus who are men and women, because that's what Prabhupada taught us. So when I say Prabhu, I'm not talking to the men, I'm talking to all of you. But I want to thank you very much, Sukadevananda Prabhu. You worked really hard on this, and I know that, and along with Ramesh. And you asked for some help from me, so I probably drove you a little crazy on that, with our back and forth. But I think you have done a great job, and I hope that everybody can happily participate. Myself, you don't have to worry. Truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. I may not be eloquent, but I'm not going to even take 5 minutes. So, one second here. So just read a very short offering that I offered to Maharaj earlier today. Best wishes to you on the occasion of your 70th year on the planet, but more importantly, with great appreciation and gratitude for the decades of devotional service to Srila Prabhupada and his mission, for your caring and friendship to your godbrothers and godsisters, for raising your spiritual sons and daughters in a most exemplary manner, so that they have become examples of bhakti in action, actively engaging in devotional service and caring for others and spreading the mission. Krishna consciousness is the medicine for this age and can defeat the pernicious. Now, if you don't know what pernicious means, it means deadly. And Prabhupada mentioned that in one explanation, pernicious effects of the age of Kali. So this Krishna consciousness is the medicine for this age and can defeat the pernicious effects of Maya and her unlimited distractions. At your feet, your servant Malati Devi Dasi. And then I included a little memento from December 7th, 1975 in Vrindavan. So devotees were sitting in Prabhupada's room and they were talking about growing old. And at one moment, Prabhupada got up from his desk. His eyes shone brightly and he said simply and convincingly, "I'm not an old man. I will never grow old." And everyone laughed. Srila Prabhupada is the self-realized soul. He does not identify with his body, and he didn't see us as material entities. He relates to us as one spirit soul relates to another. We are all meant to serve the Supreme. In that sense, he does not perceive himself as superior to us, that he always keeps the formal guru and disciple relationship intact. Srila Prabhupada's humble service to bring us back to Krishna, and our humble service to Krishna is to serve Srila Prabhupada. And the success of Radhanath Swami's wonderful years of service is that he has always authentically served Srila Prabhupada and given his message in a way that doesn't deviate. Srila Prabhupada said his success was that he did not deviate from the teachings of his spiritual master. So in effect, all of the gurus who are coming in his line of succession are successful to the degree they remain loyal and faithful to Srila Prabhupada's teachings. So that is the one thing that I greatly and deeply appreciate about His Holiness Radhanath Swami. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Malati Devi Dasi. I would like to invite Mother Kamegari next. I don't know if she's there.
There's a KG.
She's there, but she's on mute.
She's on mute. So we'll give her a few seconds. If she's not ready yet, then we can go to the next person.
She just unmute herself now.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I'm not speaking right now, am I?
Actually, it's your turn, but if you're not ready, we can maybe come back to you later.
Can you come back to me after some others?
Okay.
No, you speak now.
Jyadavacharya.
You speak now.
It would be in kindness to the organizers also.
Okay. Vanchakapatu vyascha kripa sindhu vyeva patitanam bhavane vaishnava Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Giti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurani Pacharni Nirvishesha Shanyavari Paskati Visatani Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. I can share the first time I went to New Vrindavan was in 1975. And I only heard about Radhanath He was the brahmachari at the time, but I never saw him because he was always in old Vrindavan farm taking care of Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan. And so I would always hear pastimes about him, and I was always curious to know who is this Radhanath. So one day, I don't remember exactly what month, but it was in 1975, I was fortunate enough to be in New Vrindavan, and Maharaj was giving Bhagavatam class. And it was such a wonderful, enlivening class. And then I could understand why everyone was always sharing such wonderful things about Radhanath. So still, I didn't see him so much, but you know, in those days, he mostly led kirtan longer than he gave class. So when he took sannyas and he started traveling, he would come to Cleveland weekly. And so, you know, we would have wonderful Mangal Artik, which would last for just Mangal Artik part would last for 4 hours. His chanting, he would just lead Mangal Artik for 4 hours. We would just be dancing in ecstasy with his chanting and dancing. So as time goes on, you know, I mean, there's so many pastimes for so many years that, you know, there's just no time to speak about all of them. But one personal pastime I would like to share with the devotees is about how Maharaj, even though his health has never really been that good from the time that I've known him. He's always had some health problems. And, you know, he traveled so many places and he did so much preaching, but he would take time for even persons like me and my family. So once when Maharaj had returned from India, he had come to Columbus, and Mother Krishna Nandini and I, we came to Columbus with a group of devotees, and Maharaj was giving class. And so one devotee requested me to sing a song, so I sang a song. And then I asked Maharaj if he would please come to Cleveland, because he hadn't been to Cleveland for many, many, many years. You know, the temple had been closed for many years. And I would always beg him and send messages if he would please come and visit us in Cleveland. So on that day, Maharaj agreed that he would come to Cleveland. And so he didn't give a specific day, but he said he would come. So Mother Krishna Nandini and I recalled Columbus, and Malati Prabhu, by her grace, you know, she let us speak with Radhanath Swami, and we asked him, she was on one phone and I was on the other, we were listening. And we said, Maharaj, are you really coming? And he said, I will be there. Even if there's only one breath left in this body, I will come. And so we were very, very, very happy that he said he would come. So we tried to make all the arrangements for his coming. Now, I don't remember the exact date that he came to Cleveland, but on that day, the weather was very bad. Devotees had come from Columbus, they came from Cincinnati, they came from New Vrindavan, and all the old Cleveland devotees, they all came. And the program was in the house where I was residing. And Malati came, Nityodita came, Chandramali came, you know, and every time somebody came to the door, we were just surprised that so many devotees had come. And the house was filled from the top to the bottom. You know, all the children were downstairs, and, you know, devotees were everywhere. And on that day, the weather was so bad. You know, it was a really stormy day. The weather was really bad, you know, and even Malati some years later, she shared with me that Maharaj was so sick that they had to stop to get medicine for him on the way. So he came in, and you would never have known that he was that sick. So he came in, you know, and he went up and he greeted everyone, and he came down and he spent hours just speaking about the glorious pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it was well after midnight, and someone mentioned prasadam, and that's the only way he stopped speaking. But still, even after speaking, he still gave attention to every single person in the house. You know, he sat and he spoke with everyone, even though his health was really bad. And he, sometimes he's always gets close to that last breath, but he's always giving so much. And so, over the years, I've just been fortunate enough to have his association, and I'm just so very grateful. And I'm happy to be in 2020 to observe another Vyasa Puja of His Holiness Radhanath Swami, and, I just feel so very fortunate. And I don't want to continue because I know so many devotees want to share so many pastimes. And I thank you all so very much for having this program, even though we can't physically be together. But, somehow Krishna has arranged that we can still, come together in this forum. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mother Kamegari, for giving your experience with Maharaj. Now I would like to invite Jadavacharya Prabhu. Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Jai. Vanchaka Pachu Biaschar, Krita Sindhu Biebacha, Patita Nambhavanabhyo, Vaishnavabhyo, Namo Namaha. Can everyone hear me? Just shake your heads, yes?
Yes, Prabhu, you're good.
Yes, we could hear you.
Thank you. I was asked to speak, and I thought to myself, what could I say that probably everyone hasn't or wouldn't already have said about Radhanath Swami. And Malati Devi Dasi was right on with the clearest part of the statement, is that Guru is one. And it took me a long time to understand that, only because we always considered that Prabhupada was the Guru, but Prabhupada is the Guru for me and for my God brothers and God sisters. He's also your spiritual master. However, you have a particular Krishna's representative, and he is Radhanath Swami. He looks different than my Guru, but he says the same words. And that is actually the true meaning of Guru. Guru does not invent or make up anything. Prabhupada didn't make up anything. As a matter of fact, I just read an article where Prabhupada was sitting down one time reading his books, and he said, "Oh, this is very nice. I enjoy reading these books. I didn't know that was even in there." And the devotee asked, "Well, Prabhupada, how is it you didn't know what you was writing?" And he said, "I was not writing. I may have been going through the process, but it was actually Krishna who was doing all of the writing." And in that way, the spiritual master is simply the via media for the absolute word of God. He does not make up anything. And from my understanding, from the time that I've had the pleasure of meeting Radhanath Swami and then going with him on South India Yatra, I remember one time very clearly, I was feeling a little ill and facilities were not all that great. And as you get older, it's not as easy. We're not brahmacharis all the time. And I remember coming up to the hotel door because the devotees weren't sure how they were going to facilitate all of us, Prabhupada or his God brothers and God sisters. He says that you should treat them as you would treat me. And I thought to myself, how wonderful. He's making the arrangements to make sure that we're just as well facilitated as he is. And that is truly a sense of love that you can show and compassion, just like all of you. I see Radhanath Swami's example in you all the time. That's the true understanding and the character of a good devotee. A devotee who is like in the Saksa Dari Bena Samasta Sastri. In the verse of the prayers to the spiritual master, that he is actually being represented, and he is a representative of the God, and he should be treated just as well. And I believe that I can see in all of you, when you approach Krishna in the daily activities, you approach your spiritual master also in your daily activities, and you approach Srila Prabhupada in your daily activities. And it is all with equanimity and equality, in love and in service. And that's really the bottom line. That is the basis of all of our relationships, is to have the love of the spiritual master, love for the spiritual master, and love from the spiritual master. Because at the end of life, as things are now, we're beginning to see, the only thing that we really want or need is love of our spiritual master. So you are all very, very fortunate. You have been having the sense to take shelter of the lotus feet of a great Vaishnava, a great soul, who will guarantee to take you back to home, back to Godhead by his example. Follow his words, follow his instructions, and everything will be all right. You're very fortunate. I love all of you, and please just give me your blessings. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Yadav, Hare Prabhu. Thank you very much. Our next representative will be Jai Shri Mataji. She will be speaking about His Holiness Radhanath Swami. Jai Shri Mataji. Mataji, can you hear me?
I'm on mute, aren't I?
Oh, thank
Yes.
you.
Is that better?
Now you're good. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We can hear you.
I
Absolutely.
didn't realize I was on mute.
No problem.
So that was a prayer, the bunch of Kalpa prayers. So all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Radhanath Swami. When your spiritual master departs the planet, it's recommended that unless you feel that you're super able to take shelter of another Vaishnava. And in my case, Radhanath Maharaj has been my inspiration after Prabhupada left for many years. And I know so many of us, Kamegari, Malati, so many of us have taken shelter of Radhanath Maharaj. Maharaj has got so many, wonderful qualities. Sorry, that's my alarm. I dressed the deities tonight, so I got to go take a shower and go up and dress Radha Vrindavan Chandra. But Maharaj has been such an inspiration in my life and in my children's life. Like Kamegari has said, her children got initiated by Radhanath Maharaj, which is her fortune and their fortune also. Maharaj has always been so kind to his god brothers and god sisters. I remember one time when we were traveling the first time to India for me, I went with Nityadita Swami and his crew of brahmacharis and Malati and her brahmacharinis from Columbus. And we went to Chowpatty. And then we traveled with Radhanath Maharaj. But when we got there, everyone had quarters. And Malati and I were standing there and no one had given us a room. And Maharaj came along and of course greeted us. And he said, so where are you going to stay? And we said, well, Maharaj, we don't really know. No one gave us a room. So he immediately got a room for us. Now, Chowpatty in those days was really, really simple. And Maharaj got sheets and he started making up our beds. He was putting the sheets on the beds for us, telling us that we had to have a comfortable situation. His humility and his kindness is a constant with Maharaj. It's not that sometimes he's this way and sometimes he's that way. Maharaj is constantly in the mood of humility and kindness which is also an inspiration, a good direction. When we don't have Prabhupada's personal contact anymore, we have someone like Radhanath Maharaj that Krishna is empowered. And whenever I meet a devotee, if they have a certain disposition of humility and respect, I always say, you're a disciple of Radhanath Swami, aren't you? And they say yes. So Maharaj he's one of those people that Krishna's empowered because of his sincerity and his devotion and his following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj has become very empowered, and he's using his empowerment to basically save the world. I mean, he's everywhere. You see him on TED, you see him at the parliament, you see him everywhere. He doesn't even come to New Vrindavan anymore, which is our great lamentation, but at the same time, our great inspiration, because he is doing what we want to do also. We want to take part in saving this world and bringing people back home, back to Godhead. So the old days are gone, going to the rainbow with Maharaj, spending the week, traveling in the van with him, and cooking over the open fires and having him come to New Vrindavan for house programs. Those days seem to be gone. But at the same time, we see Maharaj is doing such wonderful service in this world. So with great love and respect, I offer my respectful obeisances to Maharaj, and I am making him some some face masks. We were on a call to Russia last week, and I asked him if he wanted a mask, a saffron mask, and I just happen to have some of his own cloth, so I'm making him some masks. Okay, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Radhanath Maharaj and all the assembled devotees, and I will take your leave to go off and dress the deities. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Jai Shri Mataji, for the offerings.
Very welcome. Thank
So
you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the next set of disciples who would be speaking now would be from New Vrindavan. I've been given a list of 10 devotees, of which 2 are aspiring devotees. So I'm going to call them in the sequence that I was given based on their seniority. So the first devotee I'm requesting to come forward is Jamuna Devi Dasi. Jamuna Mataji, are you there? Okay, seems like she may not be on the bridge. If any of you spot her, please let me know. I was not able to see her here. Okay, the next person I'm inviting is Harinam Devidasi. Harinam Mataji, are you on the bridge? Okay. Is Pradyumna Das on the bridge? Pradyumna Prabhu? Okay.
He's probably on the altar.
It's okay. I'll because I didn't want to take a chance. I'm calling out everyone.
Right, that's good.
Lalita Gopi Devidasi, are you on the bridge? Okay, may not be. I think I saw this Prabhu next. Vrindavan Das Prabhu, are you there?
Vrindavan Nath.
Oh, Vrindavanath, sorry. Vrindavanath Prabhu.
He's the devotee who used to live in Columbus.
I think I saw him on the bridge.
I also saw him.
Oh, probably he's there.
Vrindavan Nath Prabhuji, we're waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's not near his computer.
Anyway, come back to him. He's a good speaker.
Sure. The next one is Nikunja Ras Prabhu. Okay. Rukmavati Devi Dasi.
I didn't see her either.
Okay. Nikunja Vilasini Devi Dasi.
Oh, she's there.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for organizing this event and letting us to participate. So I will read my offering. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I am grateful to this auspicious day of your appearance when I can think of what the relationship between a spiritual master and a disciple means. Although externally I had so little of your personal association, I know you live in my heart. And I experience that my connection with you and Guru Parampara deepens by your causeless mercy. Your disciples are extension of your divine qualities. And I thank you for giving me God's family and association with those who carry you in their hearts. I try to learn from them what it is to be servant of a servant of a servant. There are so many of us, but by your inconceivable potency, you're able to give your attention to each and every one of us. I always receive your close attention and association through your lectures and classes. I'm grateful to you for all that work that you do for us, using every opportunity to make yourself available through your lectures. You always know what's happening in my life. You always know more than I would ever be able to tell you in person. And I feel closer to you in a separation. You know everything, even if it is a splinter in my toe. And here is a story. It had been a few days that I had this pain in my toe because of a thorn that I could not detect. I barely could step on my foot doing service in the Pujari room that day. I was listening to your lecture when you suddenly said, "The life might be perfect, everything is nice, family, health, and so on. And then you step on a thorn. Can you enjoy anything? There is only one thing in your mind, the pain of the thorn." I was laughing and crying, listening to your words. While washing Krishna's dishes, I definitely could not think of anything else except the pain in my foot that morning. And then you explained how the propensity to suffer in this world exceeds the propensity to enjoy. And what to say? The pain was gone, your lesson was healing. I never found this thorn, but it disappeared as you brought light on it. This material world is a place of suffering where pain has precedence over pleasure. And the false ego is like a thorn, keeps me here. It is only by your causeless mercy this thorn can be pulled out and I get a chance to be rescued from this existence. I pray to keep my ears open to hear your healing words and follow the path of devotional service under your guidance. I pray I can be a better instrument in your mission and that my heart will become a better place for you to reside. Your servant, Nikunja Vilasini Devi Dasi.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I invite Allegra Mataji next. Allegra
Thank
Mataji.
you. And thank you, Nikunja. And my thanks to the devotees in Columbus for including us. And it's nice to be together and in Sangha in this way. I just wanted to share just two brief thoughts of appreciation. One is that as I've been listening the last few days to many of the appreciations that are coming online, including this evening, and yesterday a long Sangha that was given by Radhanath Prabhu, who was previously the cook and just thinking how in every day and every way, Maharaj is exemplary, setting the example of not only what is a sadhaka, but also what is a sadhu. And many of us, of course, may not aspire to live out that in those ways in our own lives, but the standard is set, and we know what we have to do, as much as we can apply it in the contexts in which we're serving. My second reflection is a quote that somebody had shared. I don't know what the source was, whether it was from one of Maharaj's books or a talk, but it has really stuck with me. It says, "Real character is the willingness to make personal sacrifices for a higher ideal. It's the willingness to embrace those ideals that we hold sacred, even in the face of temptation or fear." I don't know what Maharaj was writing about in this quote, whether he was writing about a personality from Shastra or a saint or someone he personally knew. But in writing this, I think he was also describing himself, knowingly or unknowingly. Even the story that Mother Kamegari shared and so many others that we know and that we've heard or even personally seen show how much sacrifices he's always making, aspiring to serve and uplift others, and the endless compassion and acceptance, and often those well-chosen words, that sort of open your eyes to the next way you need to grow. So those are the remembrances I wanted to share. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Allegra Mataji. Thank you very much. I'm going to try and call Vrindavan Das Prabhu back. Vrindavanath Prabhu, are you there? Okay, so I think with that, I don't see any more devotees from New Vrindavan unless I miss somebody. If you want to speak up, you can raise your hand. Okay. So with that said, we will now, people can always come back and speak later if you're available.
Haribo, I think Nikunja Bilaspur is here. Savita Shind.
Savita Shinde is Nikunda. Okay, I wouldn't know the name on the screen.
She just unmuted herself.
So it's Savita Shinde, Nikunja.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. All glories to Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. This is Nikunja Das and Shamarasika from New Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So today is very auspicious day of Guru Maharaj, and we are very grateful to him that we are here and serving in New Vrindavan Dham. And Maharaj always says that the eagerness is not there, but we have to cultivate that in ourselves. So this sentence of Guru Maharaj in his classes really inspired me to get more eager in Krishna service.
Thanks to Naveen Krishna Prabhu.
And thanks to Naveen Krishna Prabhu for inviting us, and Harinam Mataji for this, all New Vrindavan devotees for this Vyasa Puja. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So now I would like to open it to all the Columbus devotees, starting with Maharaj disciples. I'm not going to call any particular name or order. People can put their name in the chat, and whoever wants to speak up, if you can put your name in the chat, that way we know that you want to go first. And then in the same sequence that we receive the messages, your names on the chat, we will just call your name and then you can speak up. With that said,
Prabhu, there's a devotees from Cincinnati also.
Okay, thank you very much, Naveen Krishna Prabhu. So welcome devotees from Cincinnati. Sorry, I didn't personally address you before. It's hard to see as you are joining who's there and who's not there, so please forgive me. So who would like to go from here? Anybody wants to go first?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, since no one has put their names on the chat. With your permission, I would like to go first.
Please go ahead, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I wrote a small offering which I would like to read. On this auspicious and joyous occasion, I would like to recite a beautiful verse from Srimad-Bhagavatam. This is the Srimad-Bhagavatam 4th canto, chapter 22 and verse 47. Yeiridrishi bhagavato gatiratmavada ekantato nigamidi pratipaditana dushyantvadabra karuna swakritena nityam ko namatat pratikaroti vinoda patram. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. How can such persons who have rendered unlimited service by explaining the path of self-realization in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whose explanations are given for our enlightenment with complete conviction and Vedic evidence, be repaid except by folded palms containing water for their satisfaction? Such great personalities can be satisfied only by their own activities, which are distributed amongst human society out of their unlimited mercy. And I picked up a couple of excerpts from the purport. This is very, very nice. Great personalities of the material world are very eager to render welfare service to human society, but actually no one can render better service than one who distributes the knowledge of spiritual realization in relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Knowledge of Krishna is such a great gift that it is impossible to repay the benefactor. A joker's activities simply arouse laughter, and a person who tries to repay the spiritual master or teacher of the transcendental message of Krishna becomes a laughing stock, just like a joker, because it is not possible to repay such a debt. The best friend and benefactor of all people is one who awakens humanity to its original Krishna consciousness. Maharaj, thank you for being the best friend and benefactor of all the people. Words fall short in expressing my gratitude to you for giving me shelter at your lotus feet and qualification to render devotional service. I am eternally indebted to you for connecting me to our dear Srila Prabhupada, who presented Srimad-Bhagavatam and other scriptures with an amazing and easy to understand purport. Thank you for being in our life and teaching us how to be a loyal, faithful, and humble servant of Srila Prabhupada. My gratitude only increases as I contemplate how much struggle you and your God brothers and sisters have endured to find fallen souls like me and for giving us this ultimate benefit of human life. My sincere, heartfelt prayers for your long, healthy life. Please continue to shower your blessings and mercy upon us. With love and gratitude, your servant Ramtirtha.
Thank you very much, Ramtirtha Prabhu. I would like to invite Krishangi Sakhi next. Mataji, if you're there, it seems like you wanted to speak.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Radhanath Swami Iti Namane. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Prasutya Desatane. I first would like to say how grateful I am to Gurudev for everything he's done for me personally and my family. That's not true. Huh? I've been going through a lot, and sorry about getting emotional, but Gurudev's been there for me. Like directly. And everybody's mentioned how he shares his personal love and association. And he's just been making sure that I've been okay. And he's been guiding me with his inspiration. And he's just been so loving and compassionate. He's a direct representative of Paramatman, who is Balaram, who is Krishna. And he makes sure that if if you're sincere and loving, he reciprocates with that. He reciprocates with you. I'm just very grateful to my Gurudev. He literally has saved my life on so many levels. And I cannot express my gratitude of how much his love has impacted my family and in my life. And thank you, Gurudev, for everything. Hare Krishna. Who's next?
Thank you, Krishani Mata. The next one, person who wanted to speak is Vrinda.
Vrinda. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. I would just like to say that I am grateful that Radhanath Maharaj has accepted me as his disciple and has been there for my family my whole life and has done things that I don't even understand yet. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you. Oh. Why didn't you put your name? Michelle. You.
Thank you, Vrinda Mataji. So I don't see any, unless someone saw any names posted here. I didn't see anyone volunteering.
Next is Sita Sundari.
Sita Sundari Mataji.
Oh, Sita Sundari. Okay. Go ahead.
My dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Dear Gurudev, I'm eternally indebted to you for giving me the shelter at your lotus feet and connecting me to dear Srila Prabhupada and his God family. It is impossible for me to repay your mercy. Only thing I can do is always follow your instructions and never forget them and never let you down. Thank you for giving me the qualification to serve the Lordships in Columbus. Gurudev, on your appearance day, I pray to Sri Sri Radhanath to give you long, healthy life so that you can save more fallen souls like me. Your fallen servant, Sita Sundari Devi.
Thank you very much, Sita Sundari Mataji. Sorry,
If no one goes, then I'll go next.
I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody, Prabhu. 1 second. Okay, Prabhu, you can go next. Naveen Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coordinating this wonderful all glories devotees. And then usually I write my offering every year, but this year I decided not to say my offering, but I would like to say what some devotee mentioned in the past about Maharaj. So what happened in few years back, South Indian Yatra, Maharaj took so many devotees. They went to Ahobilam. And then from Ahobilam, Maharaj starting to the next destination, and all its crew went ahead and already set up the pandal in the next program. And then Maharaj is supposed to go there and give the class there. So Maharaj has a driver, Daruka, usually drives his car. And then that particular day, this new devotee, he wants to drive Maharaj. So the devotee could not say anything no. So he said, okay, he reluctantly agreed the devotee. So the devotee is driving, and Maharaj was sitting right next to him, and behind some Prabhupada disciples and senior Maharaj disciples were there. They were going. It was a small road. It is a village, and then it's a single road. They were going, and then unfortunately they got stuck behind a big truck carrying a hay or a dry grass. They put it on the truck in so much so they cannot see anything who's behind in front of the truck. So this car was behind the truck, and truck is going so slow and single road, and they have to catch up because next 2 hours they have to drive, go to the next destination. They're all waiting there. That is the situation. And then now people are a little restless, and then they want to make it on time. And the driver, he was trying to drive his best so that he can reach on the time. So, but he could not see road as well as you could not cross the truck, and then it was a very precarious situation. But somehow or other, that was went on for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Finally, after 45 minutes, this particular truck gave a little way, so that the road became a big, and then he gave a little way. And driver took an opportunity, drove so fast to overtake that. And then he was driving so fast, he's overtaking. All of a sudden, there's another truck coming in the head-on, face to face. By the time he realized he cannot go back, he cannot go left, he cannot stop it. He became a panic. He didn't know what to do. And then suddenly he did something. He moved his hand, and then that Maharaj's van got into the fields, and then eventually he made it. After a few minutes, he came back on the road. It all happened maybe less than a minute. This driver mind was blank. He didn't know what to do. Everything is blank. And then after a few minutes, he realized that I'm driving. I'm in the car. Maharaj is right next to him. And he looked at Maharaj. Maharaj has no feelings, without emotions. He's sitting there and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And then he looked at back, and then everybody is looking at him. Why did you do this? So this devotee felt so bad. I was about to kill everybody, kill myself. So he was repenting, but there's no avenue. Everybody is sitting quiet. And finally, they reached the destination. This devotee could not hold anymore. He parked the car, he got out from his car, and he ran to the other side, opened the door. When Maharaj got down, he fell at his feet. And he says, please, Maharaj, please chastise me. That was my mistake. That was reckless driving. Please forgive me. Why didn't you say something? Say something. Maharaj looked at him, a peaceful face. Death was inevitable. We all know we're going to die. Should I chastise you, or should I remember Krishna? And he laughed, like as usual. He laughed, and then he banged on his head and smiled. He walked away. So that is Maharaj. So amazing personality. So many devotees is talking about his so many characters. And then I'm also so fortunate to meet Maharaj and some service, and also he accepted me. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much. It's only Radhanath Maharaj ki.
Thank you very much, Naveen Krishna Prabhu, for narrating that story. I've heard that before. It was quite some time back, so nice to refresh my memory on that story. It's very inspiring. The next person would be Ram Tirtha Prabhu. He is going to read an offering from Premilas Prabhu, who is not here. Premilas Prabhu is currently working in California, so he couldn't join us. So Ram Tirtha Prabhu, please go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So this is an offering from Premilas Prabhu. He sent this offering a week ago. Respected Gurudev, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to his servants, and all glories to the servants of his servants. All glories to your service, to the servants of his servants, ad infinitum. In the midst of a storm, your stability. In turbulent waters, your pacificity. You are the hope, you are humility. You are peace, calm, and equanimity. You are tolerance, you are nobility. You are a spiritual warrior, you are profundity. Please lift me from the burden of false pride, arrogance, and carelessness, for I am your property. Make me fearless and confident in your protection. Our Lord delivered Jagai and Madai, Aga and Baka, Indra and Putana. Please stake my claim as well, although I am worse than them all. Then I will run behind you and your cowherd boyfriends and calves, for you will surely engage me. Engage me and do not reject me. May this body bring some pleasure to your servants. Yours eternally, Prem Vilas Das.
Thank you very much, Ram Tirtha Prabhu, for reading Prem Vilas Prabhu's offering. I would like to check with Radha Vijay Mataji. Are you ready, Mataji? Is your phone charged? Maybe she's still.
Yeah, well, she's Chandraman also opted his name.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Are you ready to speak now?
Of course.
Thank you.
Let me get my phone. Hold on, let me turn it down. What? I don't know how to do it. Huh.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's much better, Radha. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you.
Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gaudavani Swami, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Padma. Vantikopatiricha, Sripati Vidanam Bhavnegya, Vaishnavegya, Namo Namaha. I don't know if they can hear you.
We can hear you.
I know. So first off, I would like to offer Maharaj $1 million pie. Yeah, they can hear me. They can't see it. Yeah, I'm turning around. So this is from me and the kids, and Brenda and Priya. This is our little altar setup today. This is one of my most favorite pictures of Mars. That's my profile right there. And that's my Radhanath. And those are pasteles. And those are $1 million pies. Don't ask me why they're $1 million. I don't have $1 million, so I didn't buy them. We'll turn this way. So I'll say something about the pasteles first. So today Mata was cooking. Excuse my lisp. I have some things correcting my teeth right now, I'm getting old. But so Mata woke up early this morning and we were going to try to have offerings done by 12, but that didn't happen today. But Mata, I think her offering was done by 12. Was yours done by 12, Mata? Well, she cooked a lot of stuff, but she already offered it before this tonight. So she made many preparations there in the kitchen. But I was thinking what to make. And of course, I didn't want to ask her what she was cooking because I didn't want to copy. So I said, well, I know something she's not making. So Maharaj, when he came to Puerto Rico, he had some pasteles. And he told us that he really liked them and he really enjoyed them. I didn't cook them in Puerto Rico. But some years back in Columbus, Maharaj came to visit the temple and we decided to make pasteles for Maharaj. And so I'm making the pasteles, and somehow when it was time to serve Maharaj the pasteles, somehow somebody, I still don't know who it is, sent the raw pasteles to Maharaj in his room. So we were sitting by the door, and I was watching, just waiting, seeing what he's doing, seeing if he needs something. And all of a sudden, when he opened up, this is how they look. They're wrapped in banana leaves. So when he opened it, it's a whole different color than when it's raw than when it's cooked. And I could look and it was wet. And I looked and I was like, oh my God, those are not cooked. And I'm like, who tried to sabotage me? Whoever did it, I forgive you. But Maharaj started eating the pasteles raw. And I just was like, oh my Krishna, like what the heck? And Maharaj was eating the pasteles and he said they were the best. What do you say, Manta? These are the best pasteles I've ever eaten. And I felt so bad because, I've never tasted a raw pastele, but it's like bananas and yuca and calabasa, and it has some vegetables inside, and normally it has curd. And you mix it all together and you cook it for like an hour. And that's how inside of a banana leaf, and he really likes those. So I made those today. But also, I just want to add to it that Mata here, I know for sure, I've seen it a million times. She's absolutely a devotee because Krishna says that he always grants whatever his devotees' wishes are. So like I said, I didn't ask Mata what she was cooking today. She didn't tell me nothing. And when I came back, she's like, what are you making? But I didn't want to tell her. And so she came over being nosy and she was looking like, what is that? And I said, Mata, forget it. I'm making pasteles. She said, oh my Krishna, I was just talking with Kashaki about making pasteles for Maharaj and how you had the raw ones and da 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 da. And I just started laughing. So her desire was, she said to Martha, what did you say today? I said, in my heart, I am making pasteles for you. And then Radhanath came and made pasteles. So technically, I was used today as, excuse me? What happened?
We didn't hear what she said.
Oh, Martha, say it louder. Oh, I was saying this morning, I was saying in my heart, I was making pasteles for Maharaj, even though physically I wasn't able to do it. And then when Radhanath came and said she was making pasteles, I shared that with her, that in my heart, I made pasteles for Maharaj this morning. So in all actuality, I was used today by the mercy of the Lord and his wonderful Vaishnavas and everybody else, that I was just an instrument because I had no idea what I was doing. And because of Mata's wish, somehow it came through me to make Maharaj pasteles on his 70th appearance day. And I just want to let Maharaj know that I love you very much and you're super awesome. And our relationship is very intimate. So I don't always share all my pastimes with everybody because I'm a little extra special and Maharaj knows I'm special. So he has to do special things with me because he knows how I am and how my heart is and how I need him to love me. So he loves me in a very special way that I need. And I thank him for that because everybody's not always willing and able to treat you that way. And I love you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Radha Mataji. You always have some very interesting stories to share. So thank you very much for that. The next person would be Archana Bhakti Devi Dasi. She's from Mayapur. I believe she used to live in Columbus before. Personally, seems like I may not have met her.
Columbus and New Vrindavan.
And New Vrindavan.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure to invite you to speak about Maharaj today. Can you hear us, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear you.
Please go ahead.
So happy to see you, Archana.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be in this association of all the devotees, which I missed so much. I was in Columbus. Actually, when I came to Columbus, that's when I actually really learned about Bhakti in the association of devotees there. And one thing that that I really held on to when I was living in Columbus was lectures of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So we used to have these cassettes in those days. We didn't even have MP3s. And somehow one devotee copied so many of Maharaj's lectures. And I used to live alone in my apartment. And practically all day I used to listen to his lectures over and over and over again. And I really loved Maharaj, listening to him, and that continued over the years. So that was my connection with Maharaj. I was already initiated in Gaudiya Math at that time. So there was no question of being initiated by Maharaj, but still I had great love for Maharaj. But in due course of time over the years, actually I got initiation from Maharaj, by arrangement of Krishna somehow. So once I would like to say one thing that, just to highlight this quality of Maharaj, how he can glorify anyone to such an extent, even if there are no qualities in that person, Maharaj can magnify the qualities. He can actually look at that's the quality of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava sees, even where there is just garbage around, he just sees some nice, a flower coming in the middle of the garbage, like a honeybee. So His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj was visiting Chaupati, and Maharaj Srila Radhanath Maharaj introduced Bhakti Charu Maharaj and glorified him so much. Then when it was Bhakti Charu Maharaj's turn to speak, Maharaj said that every time I come here, I face a crisis because Maharaj glorifies me so much, and then I have to live up to that standard. And then Maharaj said, Srila Bhakti Charu Maharaj said, that this quality of being able to glorify others, this is actually a sign of being non-envious. When someone is not envious to Krishna, that's when he is able to glorify others. So I really fall short of that quality. I'm not able to glorify. But this is the wonderful quality that I would like to, I seek that from my Guru Maharaj. And today I want to offer my humble obeisances at his lotus feet. And I feel so grateful that I have someone like him that I can look up to, that I know that he will never, fail me. So thank you, Guru Maharaj. And thank you, all of you devotees. And I want to thank you, Malati Prabhu. She is next to Maharaj to me. In fact, she's more accessible to me than Maharaj. So I see Maharaj, when I see her, I see Maharaj in her. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for that wonderful narration and offering. I would like to invite Chandrabhanu Prabhuji next. Chandrabhanu Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Putra Srimate Radhanath Swami. My dear Guru Maharaj, thank you very much for accepting me. I'm ever grateful for you for this. I know you gave one personal instruction when you visited Columbus to keep up my character up to standard. So sometimes I'm struggling with that, but I'm trying my best to keep up that instruction. Please give me your strength and prayers so that I can continue to become and practice that instruction. And my dear Guru Maharaj, I'm looking forward to serve you again in the association of Mother Kamegari. So we are missing that one. And whenever there's an opportunity, somehow Mother Kamegari Prabhu pulls me in, or our family and others, to serve you personally. I'm looking forward again for such an opportunity to serve you. Thank you very, very much, Maharaj. Dhanwad.
Thank you very much, Chandrabhanu Prabhu. Maybe you could have spoken for another minute, but it's okay. Anybody else would like to go? I haven't seen any more names on the chat yet at this point. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. Doesn't, okay, there's one.
If they don't put the name and chant, if they wanted to say, they can either raise the hand and they can unmute themselves and they can speak.
Sure. Whoever wants to speak, you can even raise your hand and we'll recognize you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can an aspiring devotees go?
At this point, I would like to say yes, because if people are not coming forward, then I would like to give the opportunity to whomever wants to speak.
Okay, so I would like to, just read my offerings to Guru Maharaj. So Hare Krishna, all the devotees, please accept our humble obeisances and thank you for making us part of this celebration. And to Guru Maharaj, I offer my humble obeisances unto his lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru Maharaj. I have a very little personal association with Maharaj. I had only once or twice association with him. Once I had association when he was in Pittsburgh for Journey Within, some book distribution, something was going on. Some devotees have organized. And me and my family, we went and we offered obeisances to Maharaj, and we could see how humble he was. even though we were new to him, but he offered, blessings to my kids and to us. So I could see how humble Maharaj was. And this is one quality that I would like to see from Maharaj, this humbleness, And if we hear any lecture, like any of the lecture of Maharaj, Maharaj will always try to, say again and again the words that is Trinada Pisunichena Tarora Pisaisuna Amananya Mani Dena Kirtanya Sadahari. Like, and he will always emphasize on this, that one has to be humble, or think lower than the grass and more tolerant than a tree, and one should always be ready to offer respect to other, irrespective of whoever it is. Like we have to offer respect, and that's how we can fulfill or grow in devotional service and fulfill the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So I would just like to pray Maharaj to shower his mercy on us, and give shelter unto his lotus feet, so that under his guidance we can, serve Srila Prabhupada mission. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I'm just looking at the chat to see. Shameshwar Prabhu, would you like to go next?
Yes, Prabhu, we can go.
Yes, I just saw your message on the chat. So please, and then would you like to go first and then followed by Mataji?
We'll do it together.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's fine. Thank you very much.
Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami iti namane. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatta Desha Tarine.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. This offering is from myself and Prem Biharini. Our dearest Srila Guru Maharaj, please accept our Shastrakati Dandavat pronouns. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to your loving divine grace. First, we would like to wish you a very happy Appearance Day and best Puja celebration. And we pray to Sri Radhanath and Sri Lord Narasimhadev for your good health in coming years. We hope someday we'll be at your personal association and to celebrate this auspicious day and get nectar of your association. Dear Guru Maharaj, we are really very unqualified to thank you, but it's our fortune that you gave us an opportunity to thank you. Normally, in a rare scenario, we get this opportunity for your tireless service to the mission of Lord Chaitanya and Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, this past year was very toughest year for us, having many different challenges. We are continuously praying at your lotus feet. By your causeless mercy, we are able to pass through those obstacles. Each day, we feel how causeless mercy flows unconditionally in our lives. Our request is that please give us strength so that we can live our life as per instruction and serve Srila Prabhupada's mission rest of our life nicely. Also, please give strength to all living entities in this world going through suffering through the calamities and pandemics, directly or indirectly. Please give them strength so they can pass through this unprecedented time. Shila, with that, Shila, I'm concluding our humble obeisance and Shastrakoti Pranam one more time. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja Mahotsav ki jai. Your fallen children, Shameshwar Das and Prem Biharini Devi Dashi. Hare Krishna.
I want to tell something. Can I? Hare Krishna, can I tell some?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna, all the devotees. I would like just to tell my Sahasrakoti Dandavat Pranam unto the lotus feet of my Guru Maharaj. Thank you for connecting me to the Guru Parampara. And I would like to thank specially to His Grace Mother Malti Prabhu and His Grace Mother Kamegari Prabhu for their wonderful encouragement and support, and so much always like, you know, they are always like, you know, displays the mood of my Guru Maharaj and how we should put it in our day-to-day life, how we should serve. So thank you, Mother Malti, and thank you, Mother Kamegari, for connecting me to my Guru Maharaj and connecting to the Guru Parampara system. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Shameshwar Prabhu and Mataji. I would like to now invite Vrindavan Das, Vrindavanath Das, or Vrindavanath Prabhu. Prabhu, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Nice seeing you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Nice to see you. And nice to see
Haribol
all
Sadhu.
of
Haribol.
Haribol Prabhu. Dandavad.
Oh, old friends. Chandraji,
Haribol
Naviji,
Prabhuji.
Radhanath, Archana Bhakti. Yeah. Hare Krishna. What a nice, pleasant surprise to be in your company this year. And I was working on a poem actually to share for this year's offering, but it's not complete. And it's the retelling of the time that Maharaj was here in New Vrindavan, and he pushed quite a few of us to build a barn. And many of us didn't have any skill sets in building and constructing, but his intent was to bring the Lord's cows back to the center of New Vrindavan. And the milking barn that we see now just across from the temple was actually Maharaj's vision and inspiration to come more in touch with the vision of Srila Prabhupada, to have a Vrindavan. Of course, Vrindavan is Krishna and his cows and cowherd friends. So that's not ready, but maybe I could just share something else quickly. Maharaj loved to, I'm just going to change this view because I'm looking at myself. Maharaj really loved to visit Columbus, and some of us, many of us remember those times when he would excitedly visit on his way from Chicago and on the way back. And there's one particular time that some of you might remember that stuck with me that I can share is, I think it was the mid to late 90s. We had this big push to renovate the temple. Shamakunda Prabhu was there and renovating, and Prem Vilas and Naveen, many other devotees were involved. And we did such a nice job of putting these arches on the front veranda and painting this nice pink kind of orange color. And there was one piece of lattice work down at the bottom of the front veranda that wasn't complete. And I thought for sure Maharaj is not going to notice this. But knowing Maharaj and the level of attention to detail that he has and the quality and love that he puts into everything, he noticed it. And as he was leaving, he was kind of looking at that one spot as I was kind of, proudly kind of saying how much we did, and that kind of always stuck with me, that there's always more we could do, and paying attention to the details is what Maharaj so exemplifies and gave us. So that's just a small thing. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Nice to see you all. Haribol.
Yeah, those who doesn't know, Prabhu, he was part of the temple committee management Columbus team sometime back, very, very long time back.
Yeah, wonderful personality. Haribol.
Happy to see you, Prabhu.
Nice to see you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Vrindavanath Prabhu, for sharing those intimate pastimes with Maharaj. I would like to invite Brajabhakti Mataji next.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. As usual, I usually don't write anything in pen and paper, but I would like to share some things that help us to develop the mood that Guru Maharaj has. So I was listening to a couple of pastimes that happened in Radha Gopinath temple. So in one of the Prerana lectures, so the students, Prerana lecture in Radha Gopinath is for the students basically. So they asked Maharaj at the end of the Prerana lecture, Maharaj, what is your favorite sweet? So Maharaj said, the sweet that you can eat without feeling bored, you can eat as much as you want and you don't get diabetes. That's my favorite sweet. And everybody's like, what is that sweet that you don't get diabetes, but you can eat as much as you want and you can eat day after day? And then he said, that's the holy name. And that's my favorite sweet. So, Maharaj is directly, indirectly telling us how important holy name is in our lives. Another pastime I heard is, this is to teach us how, as God brothers and God sisters, aspiring and initiated anything, or other gurus, God brothers and God sisters, how we have to be respectful to each other and how we have to prioritize the other person in front of us. So one time his God brother, Sridhar Maharaj, went to Radha Gopinath temple. That time, it was very small. So there were no rooms except Maharaj's room. So they were thinking what to do, how to host him. So Maharaj said, don't even worry about it. You give my room to him. And then, so all the brahmacharis used to sleep in the temple hall because that's the only place they could sleep. So he went and they gave that room to Sridhar Maharaj, and then our Maharaj went and slept on the floor, but there were designated spots on the floor that each brahmachari sleeps. So Gaurang Prabhu, he came back very late from his preaching program around 12 o'clock, like in the midnight. So he went to his designated spot and he started speaking in Hindi. Hey, kaun hai? Who is sleeping here? Get up, this is my designated spot. And then he humbly said, this is Radhanath Swami. And Gaurang Prabhu is like, oh my Krishna, please, Maharaj, sorry. So he was sleeping along with the brahmacharis on the floor just to facilitate and give priority to his God brother, His Holiness Sridhar Swami Maharaj. So thank you so much, Maharaj, for setting up and giving us so many exemplary examples to live, how to lead our lives. And we are eternally grateful to you for accepting us at your lotus feet. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Brajavati Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Brajavati Mataji. Thank you very much for sharing your pastimes with Maharaj. I would like to now invite Chadbu Chaitanya Prabhu. Would you like to go next?
Radha Vijay Mataji has something, Prabhu. Let her finish.
Okay. Radha Vijay Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, it was very wonderful to see all of my God brothers and God sisters, but especially Radhanath. We go way back. But I have this one pastime which sticks with me forever, so that's why I had to share it. I probably taught it maybe once before, but now he's here so he can hear me reiterate it. But this is a lesson that sticks with me forever. We were in Puerto Rico and Radhanath came. I'm not sure if he came with Maharaj, but he was there. And part of his service at the time was to wash Maharaj's clothes and, do the program and get up and all of that good stuff. So we were there for a few days, every day, Mangal Artik, Maharaj, all the devotees are there. And then after a couple of days, one Mangal Artik, I don't know if Radhanath, I don't know where he went, so I won't say. I don't know if he went to the beach or where he went, but he was tired, I guess. So he didn't show up for Mangal Artik on like the third day. And when he didn't come for Mangal Artik, he came up during Prashadam time. So Maharaj is at the table, Rakersha Pandit is at the table, Master is at the table. There's like a lot of devotees at the table. Everybody's up here. And so we're walking down past the porch because they're getting ready to go back to the room or chant japa. They walk around the the hill, because the temple was like on the hill, so they would do laps after breakfast around the hill. And so they were getting ready to go to do their laps, and Vrindavannath was sitting in the front of the temple, like sitting on like a pillar, just sitting there. He had his shorts on, nothing against shorts. He had his shorts on and his shoes and his t-shirt, and Maharaj walked by, and he said, Hare Krishna, and Vrindavannath jumps down, offers obeisance, sits back up. And Maharaj, so as Vrindavannath said, Maharaj doesn't miss any details. So Maharaj noticed that Vrindavannath was not at Mangalarti. So Maharaj said to him so nicely, but I just felt it. I'm looking like, oh, you about to get in trouble. So Maharaj said, just remember, wherever you go, you're representing Srila Prabhupada. Yes, wherever you're going and whatever you do, just remember you're always representing Srila Prabhupada. And then he took a couple of steps and then he said, and also myself. And I just was like, oh, that was so good. So Vrindavannath, thank you for that. Not showing up for Mangalartik so I could witness that.
Thank you for that. I still remember that today. there was more that followed as well.
Okay, thank you, Radha Vijay Mataji. So with that, I've come to the list of Maharaj's disciples, unless I'm missing somebody. Sadhu Chaitanya Prabhu said he would like to speak at the end. So I would now turn it over to the aspiring disciples. Yadu Chandra Prabhu, Ramesh Prabhu, Vasanta Mataji, would you like to go next? Any one of you?
Yeah, I can go, Prabhu, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Right. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pishtaya Bhutale Srimate His Holiness Radhanath Swami Namine. Hare Krishna dear devotees. I'd like to read out some offering. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you on the auspicious day of your Vyasa Puja. On this auspicious day, I would like to take this opportunity to humbly submit a few words of glorification in the dust of your lotus feet. Our day is not complete without hearing your instructions, lectures, quotes. I would like to read out 3 of my favorite quotes from His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. A sincere soul is not trying to make a show. His enthusiasm is an act of service. Krishna is present fully in his holy name, and this is realized by the humility and sincerity in our chanting. If we feel unqualified and feel grateful for an opportunity to serve, then Krishna will bestow in our hearts. So Maharaj, in all your lectures, you teach us how to be humble, grateful, and serve the devotees and servants of the servants. Please show your mercy and guide us to develop the following qualities: detachment from results of my activities, compassion, tolerance, enthusiasm, determination, patience, selflessness, and surrender to Krishna and his plan. So Maharaj, you are a perfect example of one who has deeply developed all these qualities. Thank you for giving us hope that one can become completely satisfied and ecstatic simply by having Krishna, chanting Krishna, and giving Krishna to others. We sincerely pray to Sri Radhanath to give you good health and protection. Your fallen servants, Yadu Chandra and Kalpana. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Chandra Prabhu. Ramesh Prabhu, would you like to go next? Ramesh Prabhu or Vasanta Mataji? Are they there on the bridge? Okay.
I think Vasanta Mataji is working, and I don't know where Ramesh Prabhu is. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Prabhu. Thank you very much for letting us know. I also, initially, Naveen Krishna Prabhu said there are devotees from Cincinnati. Any one of you would like to go next?
Yeah, he spoke. Kuch Prabhu spoke from Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. So only one devotee? Okay. Then let me see here. So at this point, I will open it up to outside of disciples and aspiring disciples, if that's okay with everyone, because I don't want to keep them waiting. Who would like to go next? Urukrama Prabhu, Prem Sindhu Prabhu, any one of you want to go next? Rukmini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, I can just say something briefly.
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prashai Bhutale, Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namine, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prashai Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pracharine, Vishesha Srinivadi Paschat Deshatane, Anjakal Putrupashcha Kripa Sindhuphe, Vachapaktan and Pavan and Provation and Pranam. So I just wanted to say that it's said about Srila Prabhupada that he built a house in which the whole world can live, and Radhanath Swami, many of Prabhupada's disciples, but today we're celebrating Radhanath Swami. Radhanath Swami has gone further than the possible distance that one could expect to go to make that a reality. So in two ways, one is going out of his way to go to different people. So one sees that he reaches people whom other people have not yet reached. Like, for instance, he'll speak to anyone, to politicians, to celebrities. So that's one way. Another way is that he has made these arrangements for how can people live together in reality. So we saw a movie about the Simple Temple in Mumbai, and how he helped the brahmacharis and the householders to be together peacefully. We know that he has made the Govardhan Eco Village, which is a community, not only the people there, but also all the people who are coming and who are even hearing about it. That's another one. And the hospital in Mumbai. And then the third way is what the wonderful standard of Sadachar that he has made in his disciples that we can all see from their behavior. And Jai Shri Prabhu had mentioned that there's a special quality of humility and good Vaishnav behavior that one sees, that she can guess that this person is a disciple of Radhanath Swami, and I can also see that. And he said that, I heard him say the last time I saw him, which was in San Francisco a year and a half ago, that Sadachar, Sadhana, and Shastra, these three allow us to do seva. And so by the qualities, I haven't so much association with him, but by the qualities of his disciples, I can see that he is manifesting that among the multitudes and making this house. So I pray for his mercy on this day, and thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rukmini Mataji. Thank you very much. Seems like Sadguru Prabhu is ready to go. Prabhu, would you like to speak? You and Mataji, if you want to go one after the other.
Yeah, actually, I'll be doing alone, Prabhu.
Oh.
I think she is not a little bit, don't want to speak or something.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I just want to give the opportunity to others if somebody wants to take up. That's why I was like, I want to be in the last. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvashesha Sundar Pakshat. Dear Guru Maharaj, thank you for the opportunity and to be at your lotus feet and serve Srila Prabhupada's mission and yours. And it is a great opportunity and a great blessings for us. Otherwise, without your mercy and Srila Prabhupada's mercy, I would not be here at all. I just want to express my gratitude. And in every lecture of yours, you never even missed touching the Trinarapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadina Kirtanya Sadahari. But all the time I'm hearing this repeatedly every time. But I'm trying to develop those qualities, but it is always in a futile. I cannot able to do anything. But at least in my future, in a couple of years or before I leave this body in this world, at least I try to develop that quality of yours in at least a very portion fraction of an amount, so that I may not be a feather in your crown, but at least I can be a dust in your lotus feet. So to serve you and adapt whatever the teachings you have mentioned, and you keep on stressing to those disciples and everybody in the world. I'll try to take up some of them, and I'm really very, very grateful. And without your mercy, we are not here at all. And thank you for all these opportunities to serve the deities, to serve the devotees. And please keep giving me continuously throughout my life and even next lives. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Wish you a happy, very blessed, long life. Happy birthday for you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Chadbut Prabhu. How about Leela Madhuri Mataji, Chandramana Prabhu? Would she like to speak? You have not spoken.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Mukti Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namane Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Yevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Wish you a very happy birthday. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything, and I'm very grateful for giving me shelter at your lotus feet. Thank you, Maharaj. This year is very, very difficult for me, but because of your mercy, I am able to continue. Thank you so much for giving me the association of wonderful God brothers, God sisters. There are so much, you gave so much nectar in YouTube, because I like to watch videos. So I am watching a lot of your videos. You are giving me strength through your videos. You are giving me association. Thank you so much. I pray to Radhanath that you have a very long, happy, healthy, peaceful life, so that you can help fallen souls like me. Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you for everything. Wish you a very happy birthday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Leela Madhuri Mataji, thank you very much for sharing.
Sukadev Prabhu, you should also speak.
Yeah, I will speak at the end. I'm a little distracted now, just going through everyone. So I would like to invite Premasindhu Prabhu. He has not spoken yet. Premasindhu Prabhu.
Premasindhu Prabhu is not in the call.
Not in the call.
Yeah, he's not there, Prabhu.
He was there, but he left.
Oh, okay. I thought he wanted to speak. Is Leela Manjari Mataji there? I don't think I saw her either. Okay. What about Gurudayal Prabhu? Would you like to say something?
I am not prepared, Prabhu.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Whatever comes to your mind, you can say a few words if you like.
I am hearing from all of you.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. I'm making sure I have not missed anybody else.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Basanta Maji would like to say something in the middle of her work.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. I wish you a very, very happy birthday. Thank you so much for inspiring us with all your kirtans and lectures and books. On this auspicious day, I need your blessings, Maharaj, for going forward in my spiritual path. I am very fallen. Please, please bless me, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else who wants to go?
Please,
okay, I'll speak. No problem. So, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to express my offering to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. I've seen him ever since I've been in Columbus community. And couple of things that comes to my mind at this point in time is the examples that he gave in his book, Journey Home. So one thing that comes to my memory again and again is that incident where he sits, he's actually meditating on the bank of Ganges. And then he sees this hawk that is looking to, prey on the fish. And he sees the hawk come closer and closer to him, and he thinks that it's actually coming after him. And in the very last minute, it goes into the river, and then it grabs that fish, and then it takes it away, and it flies higher. And Maharaj was able to see the fish still hanging on the claws of that bird, and he was able to see this fish completely taken aback, as if a thunderbolt hit it, right? Because it was not expecting that to happen. And Maharaj was saying, using that incident, how one has to go deeper in the aspect of bhakti and spirituality, so that as we go deeper and deeper, it's like the fish, it was probably at the surface, and it was observed by this hawk, and it got caught. But if the fish was swimming a little underneath the water surface, then it would have escaped the hawk. The analogy he gives there is if we are deeply ingrained in the scriptures and following it sincerely as a way of life, and whatever turbulence that happens in our life, we will be able to overcome. So that is one thing that always stood in my memory after reading that book. And that gives me an idea of Maharaj's perception, where he goes a little deeper into spirituality, and he gives us the application and the knowledge that we can use on a day-to-day basis. The other important aspect of late that I've been meditating on with respect to Maharaj is he gave us a talk recently to a few of the devotees in Columbus. And it was concerning a specific topic. And the important takeaway for me from that discussion with Maharaj was he stressed on what is leadership. So today you have so many definitions of leadership, servant leadership, so on and so forth. A leader, you can say, is one who sets an example to others to follow. But here Maharaj gave a very good definition of a leader that I'm trying to still imbibe on, trying to reflect on it and see what it means to me. So he said a leader is one who not only paves the path and takes a particular initiative forward, but a leader is one who also makes sure that he brings everybody with him along with that initiative. So when I analyze that a little bit more, what it tells me is you may be a doer, you may be capable of executing a lot of projects, you may be making you may be accomplishing a lot of things, but if you don't bring the community with you, and if nobody's able to appreciate what you have done and they are still not happy, then it's all a waste. So that's another important thing that I learned from having that discussion with Maharaj. I mean, you all have expressed everything about Maharaj, his qualities, his characteristics. What can I say anything more than that? But Maharaj till date has remained a very a true loyal warrior for Prabhupada, and he has lived according to the principles that Prabhupada has written in his books. Mother Kamegari once said in one of the Vyasa Puja offering for Maharaj that she heard Maharaj say that we should follow every little instruction Prabhupada has mentioned in the scriptures. We should not even miss any one of them. Of course, it's a very tall order to think about it, to follow every single instruction. But that was one of his messages in his lectures. And as Leela Madhuri Mataji said, he has captured everything in his lectures. So we just have to hear it, and we have to take lessons from it. I think our life will be very successful. I have full conviction, but yes, I'm not there yet to follow every single instruction. I hope I will do that one of these days and please him. So with that, I would like to close my offering. Thank you. Anybody else wants to go? Gurudayal Prabhu, any thoughts?
Prabhu want to say something. Kalindi Mataji texted saying my Prabhu want to.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice the chat message. Sorry, I'm not very good at multitasking. That's for sure.
No, that's fine.
So Urukrama Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please go ahead.
So we would like to thank Maharaj for being there, being such a great example of somebody who is observed in Krishna consciousness, and all the classes that we can hear. And it's just wonderful to have such a person who is just emanating Krishna consciousness. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
And Hare Krishna. I also want to tell something, but this is also part of devotional service to glorify a devotee, especially, so senior, so exalted devotee. So today morning, I told my children, today his Venus Radhanath Maharaj Vyasa Puja. I don't know what is that, his birthday. So what they did is so amazing. They offered it and they showing lamp and Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, they start singing. And then I show the WhatsApp to Ravin Krishna Prabhu's house offering, how they offer. So tomorrow my Prabhu Guru Maharaj Vyasa Puja. So we'll do it, Mami, like this. And they like each Maharaj. Now they read their story, their biography, and that way they get so attracted, and they know His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj more with the books, with their class. And thank you, Maharaj. And if I can do, I know I'm not qualified, please, but I want a blessing, and so that I can go through in my spiritual life, with my kids, with my family. And thank you, Maharaj. All glories to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Krama Prabhu and Kalindi Mataji. Hare Krishna. It seems like Ramesh Prabhu is ready to speak finally. Ramesh Prabhu.
We can't hear you, Prabhu.
Is Ramesh Prabhu speaking?
He's on mute.
Oh, he's been mute.
Yeah.
Prabhu, you are able to hear me now?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Sundevani Vaschat Desha Tarane Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving us this opportunity. And I just want to give my gratitude to everybody, to each and every person. And like, as soon as we thought about this Vyasa Puja, Maharaj Vyasa Puja, and everybody jumped in, and so they were. I was like overwhelmed by the response which I got. It's amazing. And in my personal life, we are completely lost in darkness, and we are total illusion. and there is only one ray of hope, and that is Maharaj's lotus feet. So that's our only ray of hope in life, and I sincerely pray Maharaj will give us shelter soon. And yeah, and amazing the disciples of Srila Prabhupada with all the offerings. And just wanted to finish Rajbhakti Mataji's story about Maharaj sleeping in the dome. So one of the things I heard about Maharaj was he was saying, like, when we go into the temple, one of the disciples, one of the devotees were telling that, except for this one particular devotee, I can serve anybody else, or something like that. He was telling Maharaj, how can I overcome that and all? So Maharaj responded with one very simple comment. He said, forget about serving other disciples or other devotees who are in the temple. Anybody who enters the temple, we are supposed to pay Dandavat Pranam to this person. He might be, we don't know who he is, but he came to the temple. That is enough for us to serve him. So that much of humility and, the thing that only Maharaj can teach us. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Ramesh Prabhu. We could not see you, but we heard you. Thank you. Maybe Alak Prabhu, would you like to say something about Maharaj?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sure, Prabhu. I can, share something real quick. There is no more timer because it's like we have a lot of time now, and we have the offering very short.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the opportunity and organizing everything. Thank you, Ramesh Prabhu and Sadhu Chaitanya Prabhu as well. And thank you all the devotees who have joined, especially Mother Kamegari, Mother Malati and Jadavacharya Prabhu, and all the devotees from different places. About Maharaj, I haven't had any personal association with Maharaj, but just by associating with his disciples and his god brothers and god sisters, I can tell what Maharaj's mood is, and how wonderful example that he's setting, and that all that I can see through his disciples and god brothers and god sisters of him. So that shows that how much, I think one of the devotees was sharing that how he's, the Krishna consciousness is emanating from him, that how much absorbed he is into to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission, to serve Lord Chaitanya Prabhu's mission. And he, just by your association, by every one of your association on this call, I can I'm getting so much inspiration about how to serve without any duplicity, or serve, sincerely, and have humility and, humbleness, and all the important things that can help us in advancing in Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much, His Holiness Swami Maharaj, for blessing us so many wonderful disciples of yours, and through whom even people who are so unqualified like myself can learn so much. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Alak Prabhu, thank you very much. Does Sheshta Mataji, does she want to speak? Or, I mean, if she's not planning to speak, that's fine. I'm just asking, making sure.
No, Prabhu, she is not here. Maybe next Hari Prabhu can go.
Okay.
Monica is on the list.
No, actually, Vika Mataji wants to speak. If Shesta doesn't want to speak now, Vika Mataji.
Haribol,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu evacha patinam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So today I read this wonderful story on Instagram of the Institute of Applied Spiritual Science in Russia. and it was a story about a cow. So the Maharaj and with other devotees, they were going to the Himalayas, and most of the people were going in the bus, while Radhanath Swami Maharaj and a few other devotees, they were going behind in the car, and it was like a white car that they were going, and as they were going. Um, there was really nothing, just the road and the houses, village, and then out of the blue, this cow saw the car and it started running, and it was running really fast, and the driver got scared because this cow is running, and what if it hits, like if the car hits the cow is done right there. And so the driver decided to speed up, and he accelerated, and finally they made sure that they are like the cow is not running anymore, and behind them. But Radhanath Swami, like everybody breathed out, but Radhanath Swami, he was very disturbed. He was like, oh my God, like, well, Krishna, what's happened? Why this cow was running? Maybe something happened. So what they did, they went back, and they found the villager who was who gave the story. Turned out that some time ago, a white car hit the calf of this cow, and ever since this cow, whenever she would see the car, yeah, she would just get very disturbed. And Radhanath Swami, he got so sympathetic and empathetic towards the cow. He started crying, and he hugged the cow, and just trying to comfort her. And then, after some time, it was time to go, and they all sat in the car and drove away in the car. And the cow was just like finally like staying there, like finally kind of having her, I wouldn't say revenge, but kind of having the like gestalt with this whole like situation. And this is like the story that really portrays Maharaj humility. And I started listening to his wonderful book, Journey Home, and whenever it just like it makes me, I tear up so in so many places. And one time I had an opportunity to ask a question to Maharaj, and just like just talking to him, I had tears in my eyes. He is a wonderful, very elevated soul, and I'm just glad that he's around us. It's a big blessing to this world and to us all. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Vika Mataji. I'd like to invite Padmakar Prabhu. I believe Padmakar Prabhu, you wanted to go next.
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Srinavadi Pachata Deshtari. Thank you. And my heart is like beating almost like double or triple times, I think. I don't know why, like as soon as like I'm thinking like with a talk or not. So like I have so much, I don't have any association with Maharaj like anything, but I got to know everything about Maharaj, like from his disciples or from lectures, from the readings or anything. The first book I read cover to in my life is Journey Home. I never read any book cover to cover in my life. The first book I read was like Journey Home. Then I realized like what Maharaj is like, how much he actually sacrificed his life and went through so much of troubles and everything, and finally found the what he is looking for is in life. That was inspired me a lot. So mostly like in my Krishna conscious life, the first 1 year will be only Maharaj lectures and his disciples lectures. That's what I used to do all the time. Like I used to either see Radhanath Swami Maharaj's lectures, or like Gauranga Prabhu, or like Brajavilas Prabhu lectures. Like still I'm doing the same thing, but Now I know, like, because even I met Maharaj, but I know like what Maharaj is like through his disciples and everything. And I'm so fortunate to get that book. And first I heard the audio book, and then I got the book, I purchased it, and I read everything. Then my Krishna conscious life then started actually. And how should be humble and in this Krishna conscious life with all the devotees and everything. And yeah, because of Maharaj blessings and Srila Prabhupada's blessing and all the Columbus Devotees Association, and I'm able to continue in this devotional life. And I'm praying for all your blessings so that I can continue like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Padmakar Prabhu. Thank you so much for your services. And Padmakar Prabhu does Bhagavatam classes to a team of devotees in India. Am I right? Okay. Thank you very much. Now we'll have.
Sukaran Prabhu, there's one disciple missed, Vishwanath Prabhu.
Oh, Vishwanath Prabhu. Vishwanath Prabhu, would you like to?
You go by Vish, is he still there?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't recognize you, Prabhu. I'm very sorry. Yeah, it came as Vish, so I didn't know it was you. Would you like to speak?
You are on mute, Prabhu. Vishwanath Prabhu, you're on mute.
Let me see. It's on mute on my side. I'm not sure if it's on your side. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Prabhu, I said there's not much to say more than what's been said. Everybody knows Maharaj for his humility. I'm just grateful to be in association of so much of my god brother and sister. I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Vishwanath Prabhu. Hari Prabhu, would you like to go next? Hari Prabhu, yeah.
Hare Krishna. I just came out of them and I wasn't planning to speak, but when good fortune arises, you must take it. So, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Namane. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Satharine. So, I've been very lucky in my life to be in contact with Krishna consciousness and to come in contact. And it was primarily due to the divine mercy of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj and his divine disciples. And Maharaj has shown so much mercy on me for so many years. And I just like to, there are a lot of Columbus devotees, and I like to share one pastime from New York, actually. From, as many of you know, I like to go to the New York Harinam Yuga Dharma Ashram, and it's a very nice, brahmacharis there, very strict, very much attached to the holy name. And I like to share one story that I've heard from the leader, His Grace Ram Roy Prabhu, who is who started the Yuga Dharma Harinam Ashram in 2011, right after the disappearance of His Grace Indra Prabhu. And he has been going on for 8 years and 8 months, and I think it's the 14th day. So so when Indra Prabhu left, Ram Roy Prabhu came to his spiritual master, Satsarup Das Goswami, and he is staying at his house, his home in upstate New York. And what he was thinking, what am I going to do with my life? My dearest friend Indra Prabhu has left the world, and I have nothing to do except cry. And then so Indra Prabhu's last instructions to Ram Roy Prabhu was to do Harinam as much as possible and every day. So Ram Roy Prabhu went to New York City, and he would sit in the little subway stations on Atlantic Avenue, 14th Street, Union Square, everywhere. And he would just get a little mat and then he would just sit down and he would stay at a devotee's house, and he would just do Harinam for 6 hours by himself. And once Radhanath Maharaj heard that Ram Roy Prabhu was doing this, the first thing what happened is that Radhanath Maharaj immediately said, "Why don't you just stay at the Bhakti Center?" And then instead of staying somewhere else, so he started staying at the Bhakti Center, and then so he started getting a good group going, and then they eventually they got too big for the Bhakti Center, and then they moved out and they got their own ashram. And Maharaj still visits every year to the ashram. And I was lucky enough to be there the last time he spoke at the ashram. It was just 10 brahmacharis and me, and then a couple other Mataji disciples. And he was giving a class, and then very strongly and very intently, and he said, "Ram Roy Prabhu." So if you don't know, they distribute these books, 7 books called Sapta Rishi, 7 Maha big books at once. And he said, "Ram Roy Prabhu, can one of your brahmacharis teach me how to sell one of these Sapta Rishis? I go on many flights and I'd like to distribute one." And then so he had a whole presentation of he's like Mahotsa, and then Gopal Champu distributed Sapta Rishi to me, and I can send the recording to everybody. And it just showed in my life, and what he exemplifies is that he's always in a humble state of mind and ready to offer all respect to others and expect none in return for himself. Every class he mentions that. So I am very grateful to Maharaj. He has shown me a lot of personal mercy through his words and his divine hugs and his words. And then he also spreads his mercy to everyone through the wonderful topics of Krishna, and he speaks them so eloquently. Gaur Katha, if anybody has not seen that or heard that, highly recommended, ISKCON Desire Tree. So I would like to end my offering there, and that's my words of appreciation. What else can I say? It's like a dwarf trying to touch the moon. It's not possible. So His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Hari Prabhu. That was very nice. I haven't heard that pastime before, the way you explained it. Thank you very much. Naveen Krishna Prabhu, I believe we're coming towards the end of the program. So Naveen Krishna Prabhu wants to say a few words, and then we'll have Hari Prabhu sing Narsinga prayers to close it out.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really want to thank Ramesh Prabhu and Shadbhu Chetan Prabhu for calling, and they took initiative this year. So they want to do this program, calling the people, coordinating with the different the centers, and then make them available also to be part of this program. So really want to thank you for doing this program so wonderfully for first time. And also Sukhdevan Prabhu jumped in and then also helped in. Thank you, Sukhdevan Prabhu, for wonderfully coordinating. I also get to see so many devotees we have not seen. Vrindavan Prabhu, Archana Mataji, it's been a long time. We are old buddies many years back. So happy to see you all, and a few devotees from other centers. So happy. Thank you very much. And so many leaders, as you see, Columbus is growing. So many leaders are coming. A lot of preaching going on, book distribution going on. So happy. And then we will end. It's always 8:44. We crossed over 4 minutes, and then we will end with a Narsinga prayer. Hari Prabhu, please go ahead, and then at the end you can close it.
Thank you, Naveen Krishna Prabhu. Hari Prabhu.
If you'd like to sing along, please sing along. It'll be good for the atmosphere. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Yato yato yamitato nisingho. Yato Mahe nisingho. Mahe nisingho. Mahe Narasimhamanim Sharanam Prapanye Narasimhamanim Sharanam Prapanye Tava Kara Kamala Marena Adhuta Shringa Jai Jagadish Hare Tavakara Kamala Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Nisimhadev 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 Jaya Nisimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय,
Jai.
प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
Hari Hari Bo.
प्रहलाद महाराज की जय.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Hari Prabhu. Once again, on behalf of all the disciples here in ISKCON Columbus Yatra, I want to thank each and every one of you for your presence and for sharing your realizations and your experiences with Maharaj. Can't thank you enough, because this is a virtual event. It's hard to be personable, but somehow we all cooperated and made it a memorable event. Special thanks to Malati Prabhu for spending long hours on the phone with me, guiding me, answering all my questions, and supporting us in this event. Thank you very much, Malati Prabhu. Okay, with that, we come to the end of the program. So I'm taking leave of all of you. Let's say a huge Haribol to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj.
Yes, Radha Maharaj ki jai. Once a kalpa Hari
Hari Bol.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Thank you for coordinating. Sukadeva Prabhu, Shadbu Chaitanya Prabhu, Ramesh Prabhu. Wonderful. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Special thanks to Alek Prabhu. He's our star.
Alek Prabhu, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Timer Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So is there a context who is going to go last? Naveen Krishna. Like last time.
No, obvious is the person who has the key. Alek Prabhu, I guess.
Alek Prabhu has the key.
And for all what I'm saying, Kamegari, I don't want to end the call. Okay, now she is gone, so I can end.
Okay, bro. Hari Bol. See you all.